Welcome to the Hour channel. Top 10 things you won't believe are contagious. Number 10. Heart disease. Coronary illness has for quite some time been viewed as a non-communicable infection, a consequence of hereditary qualities and way-of-life decisions. Recently, a group of colleagues in CIFAR's Humans and Microbiome program gave proof despite what might be expected. They found that coronary illness, just as different sicknesses, for example, IBS and type 2 diabetes, can likewise be contagious. The group started with the premise that every one of these infections coincide with a changed microbiome, the blend of microscopic organisms, growths, and parasites that exist in our gut. When these adjusted microbiomes are introduced in creature models, they make illness in their new host. The undesirable microbiome that causes these sicknesses is the thing that spreads from individual to individual, like how a stomach bug does, whether or not a sound microbiome can be passed starting with one individual then onto the next is as yet being investigated. Number 9. Loneliness. Ironically, loneliness is contagious. While it might seem like a group of lonely people would have something in common and therefore not be so lonely, it doesn't actually work that way. A long-term study of over 5,000 people and their social relationships showed a traceable spread of loneliness from one person to another. People begin experiencing feelings of loneliness before they become entirely isolated. This means people start feeling lonely when they are still spending time with friends, which is how they share their feelings of loneliness with others before adopting a hermit lifestyle. Those transferred feelings of loneliness take root in the next person, and the cycle continues. We're more susceptible to catching loneliness from friends than from family, and women tend to be more affected than men. Number 8. Ulcers. Upsetting ways of life and hot nourishment have regularly been wrongly blamed for causing peptic ulcers. Actually, the fundamental driver of stomach ulcers is a bacterium called Helicobacter pylori. More than half of the total populace is contaminated with the bacterium, for reasons not yet sought. A few people never endure any manifestations of H. pylori, while others create peptic ulcers in the stomach and small digestive tract as a result of it. The ulcer-causing bacterium is infectious through salivation and fecal issue, so trading spit and poor hand-washing practices could land your ulcer. Number 7. Feeling cold. Analysts at the University of Sussex found proof that people are powerless to temperature disease. A marvel where basically seeing somebody in a cool circumstance makes our own internal heat level drop. Members in an investigation were approached to watch a video somebody diving their hand into ice water. Not exclusively did the watchers express that the video caused them to feel chilly. The real surface temperature of their hands diminished significantly. Interestingly, temperature virus was just connected with feeling cold. When watching somebody put their hand into warm water, members had next to zero actual reaction. Number 6. Happiness. We as a whole know for a fact that being around glad individuals causes us to feel pretty merry, while pessimistic Peters can transform winning the lottery into an awful day. Incidentally, our joy is influenced by something other than our internal friend networks and family. You probably won't have picked your locally situated on the mean of those living in the region. However, they impact your state of mind. On the off chance that you end up having a bright kin living close by, they'll increment your chances of satisfaction by 14%. Neighbor builds your chances by 34%, while an upbeat companion living not far off ups your chances by over 40%. Number 5. Cancer. There are 3 creatures that right now experience the ill effects of contagious types of cancer. Tasmanian fiends spread facial tumors through root chomps. Canines send venereal tumors through sexual contact, and delicate-shelled shellfishes spread their tainted dangerous cells through seawater. These discoveries throughout the most recent couple of many years have definitely changed our insight into malignancy's capacity to turn into an infectious disease, while people are not yet known to effortlessly send harmful cells starting with one host then onto the next. There have been reported situations where certain conditions permitted only that to occur. In 2018, an organ giver kicked the bucket with undiscovered bosom disease. 4 individuals got transfers of her organs, and every one of them created bosom disease. For another situation, a HIV-positive patient contracted disease from a tapeworm in his digestive organs. In these models, the patients who got disease from another host had undermined resistant frameworks. Researchers as of now accept that infectious disease is exceptionally far-fetched to happen in people outside of these abnormal circumstances. However, the advancement of contagious malignancy in creatures shows how that can change. Number 4. Bad behavior. The majority of us are now acquainted with how being in a gathering of individuals who are defying the guidelines can impact us to do likewise, regardless of whether we wouldn't have done as such under ordinary conditions. Yet, research directed in a progression of analyses in the Netherlands demonstrates that this connection stretches out past that specific second. In addition to the fact that we are bound to defy norms when encircled by other principle breakers, we're likewise going to be bound to disrupt different guidelines in other situations. If we're strolling not far off with a lot of slobs, we may throw our own waste to the control. In any case, later when only we're that introduction to the breaking of accepted practices can make us be bound to steal another person's snacks out of the lounge at work or neglect to tidy up after our canine during their walk. Number 3. High blood pressure. Hypertension, regularly connected with unfortunate eating regimen and way of life decisions, was found to likewise be connected to a typical infectious virus. A group of specialists found that mice tainted with cytomegalovirus, or CMV, created worse hypertension than those without the infection. Saying this doesn't imply that diet doesn't assume a job. Mice contaminated with CMV who additionally gorged on elevated cholesterol nourishments had the most severe hypertension rates. The specialists additionally led preliminaries with human cell societies. The human cells tainted with CMV made a protein definitely known to add to high blood pressure. CMV is assessed to influence somewhere in the range of 60 and 99% of grown-up people around the world. The infection is sent through the sharing of natural liquids and remains in your body forever. Number 2. Goals. Because of something many refer to as objective virus, we inadvertently, and frequently subliminally, receive the induced objectives of individuals we communicate with. On the off chance that somebody we're visiting with at an evening gathering is attempting to unwind and live it up, they don't have to illuminate that for us. We'll get that from their conduct, non-verbal communication, and subjects of discussion. On the off chance that this objective is considered fitting, there's a decent possibility we'll embrace it ourselves and approach having our own great time. On the off chance that rather we're associating with somebody who showed up rationalizing about leaving early, we also may end up checking our watch and attempting to make a quick exit. Goal virus is more grounded with somebody in your internal hover than an outsider, and it is more averse to happen when the objective is viewed as improper. So if our evening gathering buddy is circumventing slipping roofius in individuals' beverages, we won't be subliminally constrained to do likewise. Number 1. Cavities. Of the multitude of things your dental specialist normally prescribes to keep your teeth sound, flossing, brushing, scaling back sugar, evading individuals with helpless dental cleanliness likely isn't on that list. Cavities happen when microbes in our mouth changes over sugar into corrosive that holds fast to the tooth and destroys the lacquer. Regardless of whether you brush and floss consistently, kissing somebody with lethargic oral cleanliness propensities will land you with a similar depression-causing microorganisms in your own mouth. Children are more defenseless in light of the fact that they haven't yet developed any insusceptibility to the microbes. A grown-up can pass cavity-making microbes their youngster by kissing them on the mouth, sharing utensils, or clearing off a pacifier with their mouth prior to returning it to an infant. Thank you. Please subscribe and like a video, then click the bell icon.